Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. Hey guys, Principal Comic Book University. Listen, the airwaves are freaking crazy. Last week it's Sentinels and crazy Matrix stuff. Nah, this time I'm seeing conspiracy theories and all sorts of crazy nonsense like that. I gotta find me a good cellular frequency to break into Nerdarchy with that I can depend on. Maybe a CBM or, a GSM, CDSM. Okay, we're gonna find something. We're gonna be good. For now, let's just talk about the stuff that's over on my channel. While I got you here. Check this out. Guys, did you know that currently Conan and Wonder Woman have actually crossed over? Oh, that's right. That's right. Conan from Dark Horse Comics and Wonder Woman from DC Comics, they have a little merging. There's going to be about 6 issues or so of this. And so far, so good. Wonder Woman Conan, issue number 1. Guys, not bad. This is... I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how good this actually is because you figure she's overpowered. No. She got some little bracelets on. She's bound in chains, so she's not nearly as strong as she should be. That's actually a weakness she has. If a man is allowed to bind her, then she loses her super strength. Go figure. Anyway, so we also have Batman, issue number 31. Guys, we've got the War of Jokes and Riddles. Okay, this is Tom King is on this comic. Tom King is a former CIA operative in the field. No joke. So, he's no joke, and he tears it up, man. He tears this comic up. And the War of Jokes and Riddles right now, it's the penultimate issue. So the week after that, the following week, we're actually going to see the ending of this, the conclusion, whereby we will see if Catwoman is actually going to marry Bruce Wayne, Batman. What? In the meantime, the War of Jokes and Riddles is his confession to her about the worst time of his life, the time that he actually failed Gotham horribly. And it's the Joker going up against the Riddler in a crime war where everybody has picked a side. And it's not looking too good for one of these guys. And the Joker is your typical crazy self who's lost his jokes. He doesn't find anything funny anymore. Meanwhile, over on the Riddler side, you figure the Riddler's just some scrawny little punk, right? I mean, what's he supposed to do? He's been retconned. Right now, he is a tough-as-nails, ridiculously strong Irish guy who fights like, forget about it, fights like a wildebeest. So, nice retcon on the Joker. Also, the reintroduction, I should say, of Kite Man. Hell yeah. You might think that this is a joke. Nuh-uh. Kite Man's legit. He's pretty cool. I would definitely check it out. The poor and the underclass are growing. Racial injustice and human rights are non-existent. They have created a repressive society, and we are the unwilling accomplices. Guys, a little bit of interrupter since we got these other interrupters. It makes my eyes hurt. It's crazy. But did you know that The Punisher, they're considering moving it up, the time frame? Nothing's set in stone. It was supposed to be in around December. Now they're actually thinking about moving it up to October 18th. You believe that? Yes, please. Thank you. So The Punisher, they just released this first trailer this week, this Wednesday that just passed, in fact. Sitting here politely reading my comic books, and all of a sudden I get notifications, hey, Bill. So, yeah, of course I had to check it out. I also did a review on it. You could check it out, the live reaction of the trailer. I got a little freaked. It's looking good, though. I mean, it's the Netflix series, right? Can't go wrong. I feel compelled. Maybe I should stop watching so much TV. Okay, let's go back to a comic book. In fact, let's go to something D&D related. Guys, did you know that Matt Colville and Matthew Mercer actually did a comic book together? Yeah, horrible marketing campaign. I'm not going to relent on that. Horrible. But yeah, I found out about it through sheer accident. I saw the name. I mean, the name recognition is just boom, it's there. And yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. This first issue is pretty good. Took me a little while to understand a couple things. This is their first time doing a comic book, so it's understood. But at the same time, they do have that name recognition. They were able to get directly into Dark Horse Comics. That's one of the top second tier comic companies. That's no joke. So I think that once they have refined what they're doing, I'm hoping that they will go with a second series, because what I see right now has so much potential. It's like, from the very raw perspective, it's really good. It's really good, guys. That aside, Aquaman. Now, I know a lot of people are like, what, you mean the guy who talks to fishes? Just stop right there, or you're going to be talking to the fishes like Luca Brasi, okay? I'm Sicilian. I can make it happen. Check this out. Aquaman, I consider this my placebo, my come-down effect. When I'm finished watching some Game of Thrones, it's like, that was good political intrigue. Everybody's killing each other. It's freaking glorious. It's beautiful. This Aquaman, it's kind of like my wet Game of Thrones. That's the way I refer to it. There is so much political intrigue in this. Yes, you got Arthur Curry, Aquaman, who's able to go around and actually control the fish to attack people. And he's also super strong enough to punch Superman and knock him, flying. But it's more than that. This comic, it's about introducing all these incredible different characters, the political intrigue of he's actually been deposed of his throne, and he was murdered. Aquaman heals, though. A lot of people don't know that, right? He's actually healed pieces of his brain before. Go figure. Remember when he lost his hand? He got it back because he heals. So this guy, he's actually trying to be a vigilante and help people out in Atlantis. And there's actually, Atlantis is so huge, there are actually places where he's never really been before. The Ninth Tride, for instance, where the mutants go. And he's not able to fit in very well, but he's trying to help these people out who have been seriously misused, poverty-stricken. It's horrible. And an entire crown of thorns has been erected over top of Atlantis so that no outsiders are able to enter in. Yeah, they built a wall. Guys, there is so much political intrigue in the Aquaman comics. It thoroughly wipes you. By the time you're finished reading the comic, you're physically drained. It's that good. Please understand, they are safe only as long as they're not discovered. That is their primary method of survival. Any X-Men fans out there? We got 2 comic books for you. One of them is X-Men Gold, issue number 12. Yeah, the gold and blue teams are back. Anyway, these guys, they're actually trying to fight for their lives. They're trying to fight for their survival, their right to not be evicted and kicked out of America because they're different. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird like that. Guys, on top of that, they're introducing a brand new character who's got some serious ramifications for these X-Men if they can't figure out his identity, if they can't figure out where he comes from. It turns out he actually comes from the negative zone, an entirely different plane of existence where antimatter is supreme and matter is not. And all life must be destroyed. Yeah, because they're in like a form of unlife, not the same as undeath. So yeah, these guys have come across this new being who he has so many ties to Scourge groups that can come across the dimension and cause havoc, not just for the X-Men, but for all of Earth. It's kind of a big deal in the making. On top of that, Mojo's back. Just saying. There's going to be a huge crossover between all of the X-Men comics where Mojo is actually responsible for all of this havoc. Yeah, it's looking bad. Guys, also, Jean Grey. I don't know if you are a huge fan of the former Phoenix. Well, the Phoenix Force is coming back, and in Jean Grey issue number 7, we see that the old Jean Grey is actually taking possession of the new Jean Grey, the younger Jean Grey from the past. I know, it's weird. Try to wrap your heads around it. Crazy antics are ensuing, and right now a psych war is about to start. And that's where all the psychics of the Marvel Universe are going to go to war with each other. Yeah. With the Phoenix coming out on top, that's a pretty safe bet. They keep us asleep. They keep us selfish. They keep us sedated. I'm getting such a headache. It really hurts my head, my eyes. Just, wow. It's almost like it's coming from a different dimension. Hey, speaking of which, we've actually got a couple of books like that. Batman, Red Death, issue number 1. I believe this is going to be a one-shot. This is currently happening in the current DC universe where Batman actually kills the Flash in order to take his Speed Force powers. How does Batman kill the fastest man alive? you're going to have to check it out, or at least check out my review. Like, wow, it's crazy. Absolutely absurd. On top of that, there's a lot of these Batmans because, see, there was a paradox where all sorts of different decisions could have been made by Batman, and each different decision turns into a different Batman kind of being ejected into the universes and then brought to the current DC universe. Yeah. So all these different decisions, all these different life-changing choices and moral-changing choices, and they're all going to converge. Batman's going to have to fight these guys? Yeah, odds aren't looking very good. Does anybody know a Man of Steel that can ask for help? On top of that, we've got Miles Morales showing up, a new version of Miles Morales. This is, mind you, in Spider-Man, issue number 3. Spider-Man 2, issue 3, go figure. There was a crossover before where the two Spider-Men, the Peter Parker and Miles Morales Spider-Man, joined forces. Well, they decided it was so good, they decided to do it again. And this time they've discovered that the Miles Morales of the Earth 1610, the Ultimate Universe, actually has a counterpoint in our universe. How is that possible? Who is this guy? And why does he seem to be best friends with the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk? Nothing good can come of this. Nothing. They're dismantling the sleeping middle class. More and more people are becoming poor. We are their cattle. We are being bred for slavery. The revolution! Guys, magic has been taken from the universe, kind of like sanity is being taken from my brain right now. And check this out. Right now, Doctor Strange, issue number 20, with the magic seriously corrupted, Doctor Strange actually comes across a memory that he'd lost. Doctor Strange has an almost eidetic memory. It's practically photographic. How could he have forgotten something? Unless magic was involved. Huh. So he remembers something from back when he had almost omniscient power. And now, while he was barely able to defeat this menace with supreme power, here, with almost no magical powers, how's he supposed to face that same threat? Especially when he can't remember how he beat it in the first place. Guys, Doctor Strange is a really good comic. I would definitely consider checking that out. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness, and we have been lulled into a trance. They've made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We're focusing only on our own gain. Okay, that is some really weird stuff. And I'm starting to think maybe there's some kind of a subliminal message here. So I am going to take out my trusty shades of awesomeness. I'm going to put these puppies on and see what I can see. What's your problem, buddy? I said, what's your problem? Guys, last but not least, I want you to check out my Explained in a Minute. Every Tuesday and Saturday, I put out a new character explanation video. I try to keep it down to 2 minutes or less, so in about a minute. And Tuesday, I put out Odin. Yes, because Thor Ragnarok's coming out in just 2 months, month and a half. Looking good. It's looking pretty good. And this Saturday, I just recently put out Scourge, the Executioner. Don't know who Scourge is? In about a minute, you will. Scourge is also the bearer of one of the very rare gifts that the Marvel Universe actually bestows upon people. Certain characters have never been brought back after they were killed. Uncle Ben is one of them. He's the foremost of them. Up until a couple years ago, Bucky was one of them also, but then we had the Winter Soldier, and I'm totally okay with that. Captain Marvel is one. He's never been brought back because his death was just so epic. Probably the greatest death in the Marvel Universe was actually Scourge the Executioner, and he, too, has never been brought back just because of how epic the death was. This character created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, but brought to perfection by Walter Simonson. This, wow, incredible story. And I'm not going to just leave you in the dark with it. No, rather also on Saturday, I have done a spotlight on story, The Death of the Executioner, collecting Thor, issue number 360, 361, and 362. Guys, this is easily my favorite story in all of comics. So by all means, check it out. There's a little prophecy scene in there. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of proud of it, working on my editing skills and all that stuff. Speaking of which, the feeling is definitely there. It's a new morning in America. Fresh, vital. The old cynicism is gone. We have faith in our leaders. We're optimistic as to what becomes of it all. It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism. Okay, guys, all this crazy stuff, it's actually causing me some really bad headaches. So I'm just going to bounce. I've actually got to go to the bank and get some things done. I'm going to go make a withdrawal and, yeah, try and get some medicine for this headache. Anyway, guys, make sure you check out Comic Book University, tuition free. How many colleges do you know that are tuition free, right? Anyway, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Going to the bank now.
I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I swear I just can't catch a break.